I'm Shane Nyland, and my co host is Blake Musser. And these stories you're about to hear are from Weapons Company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, 1st Marine Division, about the events surrounding and directly from the mouths of the people who were in Ramadi 2004.
This is part 2 of our conversation with Heath McKenzie from Mobile Assault Platoon 3.
Yeah, I mean, we ended up hitting, my truck ended up hitting 2 IEDs and 1 RPG. It was pretty insane, the RPG one. I mean, everybody hit IEDs at one point or another. Thank God we got the up armors when we did, because, I mean, waiting for EOD was, at the end of it, was just not doable anymore. Because I remember, like, ended up just having Mark 19 shoot them while we're coming up on them.
Yep.
If we suspected anything, we just shoot them. Oh, there's a dead hog in the middle of the road. Let's just go ahead and shoot that just in case. And it just explode out of nowhere. But the VBIEDs were, some of them were pretty insane, intense.
Yeah, you guys had more than your fair share of VBIEDs as far as I can remember. We had 1 or 2. I know for sure you had 2 in one day. You definitely had 2 more from there. I don't know how many others you hit, but you guys had at least 4 or 5 VBIEDs, and you had 1 suicide VBIED.
Yes. Yeah. The one that I remember the most, it was in between my vehicle and Sergeant Lashard's vehicle. And it was a VBIED, and it was a gas one also. They filled it up with gas. It was right outside the gate on Route Michigan.
Yep.
We pulled out, and I think that may have been the 7th also. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, as soon as we pull out, Sergeant Lashard, and then as soon as Sergeant Lashard passes it, it blows. And it is the biggest fireball I've ever seen. I was like, holy fuck. We come to a complete stop. There was a grandfather and 2 kids on the other side of the road, and they're just pink mist. Like, it was insane. Like, everything was just cleared off. But Lashard jumps out. I jump out. We're like looking, and we were on a QRF heading out to help some guys.
Yep.
And well, we ain't got nobody to shoot, so jump back in the vehicles and just keep going. But it was that was probably the biggest one I remember. Of course, the other one is when that 2-5 guy got blown up in his face. That remember that one. The other one, the RPG. I meant to say this. It was me, and I know it was Privitar because he was in the back seat, and I don't remember why, but I was driving. We pull up in the alley. It's right before the government center, and we're pulling up in the alley to kind of cover that alley. As soon as I pull up in the alley, an RPG's coming right at us, and we're about to dismount. I thought Privitar was dead because it hit right on the door while he was about to open it. It was pretty insane. We got both tires on the right hand side were blown out. A huge dent on the right door, and then we just limp it back into the base.
Was that when you had an up armored Humvee?
We had an up armored Humvee, thank God.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that. I don't know how that quarter door would have held that.
No. Yeah.
It was up armored Humvee because, everybody in there, I remember kind of waking up and dust everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the radio is going absolutely insane. I'm like, oh fuck. So I just hit the gas and they're like, you guys okay? I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, that I don't know which alleyway you're talking about. There was two big ones right there by the government center, but one of them was just a shit magnet. I think that's where everybody got hit all the fucking time. I mean, people got hit by mortars there, people got hit by RPGs there, several small arms engagements in that alley. And we had posts all around it. So it's not like you couldn't see things. It just there's nothing you couldn't cover every little nook and cranny of that weird ass alley.
Yeah.
Well, there was that open construction area behind the building on across the way. I mean, they would come across over there. That's where I was popping those guys on the after on that last day when
Yeah, doing the
12.
left seat, right seats.
Yeah, and I was just picking them off. They were running across there. But anyways,
Yeah. Talking about the government center, I mean, I remember we did y'all get to eat at the government center at all?
So I personally never did, but I
no.
know we escorted the BC there, and other guys that went in did get to eat. I always stayed out with the trucks.
Yeah. So I got to eat in there once and I decided not to do that ever again. Um, because I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of it was pretty good food. You know, it's lamb and the flatbread and rice but it's all like family style. But there's no plates to pass around, so you're eating from a big like trough. It was
Ah,
the weirdest thing I ever seen. I was like, and you can't use your left hand at all for like anything. So I'm like, I don't know about this.
I know. I don't know about you guys, but a couple of our guys that went in, they ended up with the shits like so bad that they were shitting in bags in the Humvees and stuff. Like they were in bad shape.
Dude, I mean, I held on the backside of the Humvee and was taking shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just, like, crack the door. I'm grabbing a hold. Just hold. Um,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, it was bad. Like, puking and shitting and, yeah. And of course, close quarters, it just got passed around multiple times to
Right.
everybody. And then of course the water that you couldn't drink, you know, that parasites or whatever,
Hmm.
you take a shower in it, but don't open your mouth.
That's right.
Here's bottled water. Here's bottled water so you can brush your teeth. And I'm like, okay, guys, this is insane. Uh,
Well,
you know,
speaking of hooch life, you remember anything good from back when you guys were staying back in the back in the rear a little bit?
yeah. We had of course, the volleyball net beside the hooch right there. We were the last ones. We're map 3, so we're all the way at the end, and we had the volleyball net. We ended up doing the smoke pit with, of course, the sandbags everywhere. It was, and we got, I don't know if you remember, we got golf clubs and golf balls shipped to us.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And the Army Motor T, hated us because we were knocking the piss out of those golf balls across the river and hitting their 5 tons of their Humvees and just clanking shit all the time. It was pretty awesome. Like Silton had the best drive. I ain't gonna lie. I guess he knew how to golf before.
Yeah.
I played baseball and I couldn't hit it straight for shit. I took up golfing about 5 years ago and I still can't hit it straight for shit.
At least nothing changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys always had the best recreational gear, man. You had volleyball, you had golf clubs, you guys had dodgeballs. You guys had, I remember you had an Xbox and you had multiple movies, lots of movies.
Yeah, well, the Xbox was pretty awesome. We actually had two. We had our first one got so dusty that it shit the bed, so we got another one shipped to us. Um, and then the Haji store had every burned DVD you could ever imagine. I
Yep.
mean, and for some reason, we loved romance movies, the rom-coms back in the day. Like, Nothing clears your head like a rom-com. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Let's get in a 6-hour firefight and watch a rom-com. That is awesome.
I've joked before that the best way to know whether or not somebody actually saw the shit is if you ask them what the song that they wrote into battle on, and if they said something like "Disturbed," it's like I don't think so, but they said Britney Spears, then it's like, oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's you actually saw something.
Yeah. Come in like a wrecking ball. Yeah. Yeah. What was it like
good
back
shit.
then? It was like Britney Spears and April Lavigne or whoever it was back then.
Yeah, Avril Lavigne. You had Christina Aguilera.
Avril Lavigne, yep.
I remember we,
yeah.
I remember we rode to an op, listening to.
You had a tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we rode to an op listening to "Barbie Girl" by Aqua one time. That was great. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but Hooch Life was, I mean, the only thing was like that river was right there, and there's just no way we could get in it.
Yeah.
For a bunch of different reasons.
Yeah, a lot of different reasons. Yeah, and we had the Hooch like probably like 32 degrees at all times of the day. Like you get to that side for, what was it, 120 degrees, and then you walk in our Hooch, it was like freezing.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But yeah. What else?
You got any specific stories about any of the guys that pop into your head? Whether
I mean,
an odd one, funny one.
I mean, the good thing about the young guys that we had was they were, I don't know how about your guys, but like the new guys that we got were all machine gunners for the most part, and those guys were crazier than dog shit also, so that helped out a lot. You know what I mean? Gordon, Kelly, Pepper. The only one that, of course, y'all know of that, Campos. Didn't he didn't have. I don't know what happened exactly. I guess his spiritual beliefs kind of. I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but he didn't last with us very long. And then I guess he got moved to headquarters, doing stuff there. Of course, when Sergeant Condi was killed, we ended up getting Ryan, which was Mark Ryan was from 1-1 previously. And then Sakaki, of course, Sakaki. Can't forget about Sakaki. He's he ended up coming on with us also, from doing his undercover work with a
yeah, being a secret squirrel with ODA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, they get to do all the cool shit. They got beards and long hair, and they get to wear dresses and go to parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Mark Ryan, he was I got a story about Mark. He as soon as he came with us, he was a 51, and I think he had a secondary as a machine gunner, and we put him on a gun. You know how they have low power lines everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You remember, like when the battalion said no more the Under Armour shirts? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
The reason there was no more of those Under Armour shirts is because Ryan, in those low power lines, he was behind the 50, and his barrel caught one of those lines, and it singed him. Some of his shirt got singed to his skin.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yes, because it's like 60% plastic or some shit, like the shirt
Uh-huh.
itself. And they that's why they passed the rule, don't wear the Under Armour shirts anymore, because it lit him up. And
Hmm.
he but yeah, you know that he was only with us for like maybe a couple of weeks when that happened.
That's crazy.
That didn't take him out of the fight though, right?
No,
Nope.
no.
Oh, okay. I thought I remembered him sticking around. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he stuck around because I ended up talking him into going home because he was going to stay and literally like just exchange over.
Prospect.
He,
Yeah.
but I talked him into at least going home for, I don't know if he actually did it or not, but I told him, he needed to go home for like 10 days that they're going to give him or whatever. I think he did end up going home for 10 days and then crossed that.
I know he cross-decked.
Hmm.
I didn't know if he went home or not. As far as I could remember, he just stayed, but you would know better than me.
Well, I thought he did. I don't really remember if he did or not. But I
Hmm.
remember talking to him. I thought he did go home for a short period of time and then cross deck.
Hmm.
Because at that same time, they were trying to get me to reenlist in country. And of course, there's no way I was going to reenlist.
Do you remember what it felt like coming home?
Yeah. Um, it's, I ended up we came back in October. I think, when we got back, I only took because they were going to give us 30 days. We ended up doing 30 days and then during Christmas doing another 30 days or something like that. I remember something crazy. But
Yeah.
I ended up shortening my leave because I got out before a lot of guys got back because I got out January 6th, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was like I didn't know what the hell I was going to do when I got out. I should have. I hope they have a better system in place for guys coming back from something like that because I was not prepared at all. And of course, back then, instead of showing any kind of feelings or emotion, you just swallow them, and it came back to bite me over there for a little bit. I've gotten a lot better, but it was hard for a long time.
Did you go back to Nashville right away?
Yeah. Actually lived in Nashville. Well, no, let me take that back. So bought a house sight unseen while in Iraq.
Jeez.
All
Okay.
right. So bought a house sight unseen while in Iraq. Got out. Um, got in the house, and it was like the 80/20 loan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh-huh.
not not too soon after that is when the housing market like
Oh.
I mean, it
Yep.
was what, 2009 when
8.
everything crashed? 8, 9, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It was 8 because I remember I graduated college December of '07, and
Yeah.
literally 3 weeks later the entire economy took a dump. But
So the housing market happened, and we ended up moving into Nashville in an apartment, and yeah, started having babies, and yeah, things got real serious real fast.
Hmm.
It was crazy, but those babies, you know, they saved my life back then, and so they're pretty awesome.
Well, you're kind of talking about it. I don't necessarily, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I can always cut this out later. But do you want to talk a little about? You said it was hard coming back, and you swallowed your feelings. You want to talk a little about that now, or no?
Yeah, I can talk about it. I mean, it's it's it was a really rough road for me for a long time because it was one I didn't have anybody to talk to. I mean, just like anybody else, like being a man and being a Marine, you're supposed to, lace up your bootstraps and just carry on. And you're afraid to ask people what they're going through because you don't want to feel like you're weak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the hardest thing is reaching out, and that I didn't for a long period of time. And I was in a dark path for a very long time. And of course, you knew me back then, so you knew I was a heavy drinker anyway.
Yep.
So
Well, we all were. Fucking everybody was. Yeah.
yeah, but it was it. I mean, I was at a 9 when I was in the military, and I was at like a 12 when I got out. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that checks out. That's what I did too.
and then of course, going to the VA, trying to go to the VA, and I really sometimes I believe that they try to kill you before they pay you anything. They were giving me Klonopin, um, knowing I was an alcoholic, so it was all like Dr. Kong. I mean, it was really bad there for a while, but a lot of therapy, ended up going to a rehab. I don't take any kind of medications unless I absolutely have to. But the one thing that I always ask the VA, if you're going to give me something, or any doctor really, if you're going to give me something, what's the exit plan? Because I'm not going to take the rest of my life. We need to figure out the source instead of the short-term solution. You know what I mean? So, and if any veteran ever, listens to this, that there is people out there that care about you, and even if you don't know it, it's there's some crazy shit that everybody's been through. Everybody sees it through a different lens. So just reach out. All it said, all you need is a phone call. I mean, Kevin Sakaki, he's helped me out a lot. Actually, Juan Pacheco, if I ever feel like doing something stupid, I call him, and he's like, "Hey, bitch, I'm on my way."
Good.
So, but yeah, it's my Rachel, my wife. She's if you ever want to stay on the straight and narrow, marry a redneck woman. She will put it into shape real quick, and I love her to death. And she's been on my side for, 13 years now. So, and I've talked to her about it, and talked to her about a lot of things that I wouldn't normally share with people. So, and I'm glad you guys are doing this for what it's worth. It's my kids will listen to it, hopefully get kind of a different sense of what actually happened and everything.
Well, you're kind of getting there, so I'll ask you this too. When you reflect on it now that it's been 20, almost 22 years, 22 years later, what does all this shit mean to you?
What does it mean to me? I mean, one thing is, it in the end, it's like the best and worst times, some of the best and worst times of your life. The friendships that, I mean, even with you guys, I haven't talked to you guys in 27 years, but I love you guys like none other. And it's also made me realize that I can get through anything. Just keep grinding. Don't be a stubborn ass and not ask for help when you need it.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while you need somebody to point you true north again. You know what I mean? So, um, I've gotten lucky, in the construction business and doing demolition. From a 0351 assaultman to doing demolition in the construction world, I've gotten really lucky, and I've just kept at it. It's a lot of work getting to where I was.
It's good, man. It seems like you're doing the right thing. I mean, obviously, I don't know for sure, but you sure look good. So,
Oh, thanks, sweetheart.
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've weaned myself from whiskey. That's the biggest thing. It
Yeah. I would never tell anybody not to drink. But I will say it can take a hold of you and fuck you up real easy. And that's what happened to a lot of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot all about the javelin shot. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh man, the Oliver North javelin shot, the Lionesses. I mean, all that was really, really cool. The die like chomping at the bit to shoot the javelin, and we finally got the okay from what was it, Drake. Was it what was he? He was like the head weapons guy or whatever. And yeah, we had they told us that it was a VBIED right outside of combat outpost, and Drake gave us the okay to go ahead and shoot it with a javelin. I grabbed that son of a bitch as quickly as possible. I pretty much took it away from everybody else. I was like, I got this. I've been waiting 4 years for this. So I forgot what previously we ran into, but like it was parked right outside of combat outpost. And I actually got a video of Sergeant Lachard videotaping me shooting it. And I got the biggest grin on my face ever, because that sucker, that the hood of the car shot up probably 50 something feet or more in the air. And it was just a crater in the ground. But yeah, but even before that, Drake told us to, shoot it direct attack. That way it would blow out the backside and it wouldn't come back towards us. We did get some shrapnel. I heard Latham say that, pieces of it fell behind us. We weren't that close, but it was one of the biggest explosions. It was pretty cool. And then of course Cox later on shot it from the bridge after they told him he could fire back, but they didn't tell him that he could fire back with a javelin. So I'm the only one that actually got the okay to shoot the javelin. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Sergeant Lachard, I think, was happier than I was. People that don't know Sergeant Lachard, he was a little Frenchman from I don't remember exactly where he was from, but he spoke French, and like short little black dude that was just muscle bound as all get out. But he was super excited, and you can hear him in the background. But yeah, that was a pretty cool shot. Only time I ever got to shoot it.
I remember the video. You guys were like, I don't know, it seemed like maybe 400 or 500 yards away. Like, you were far enough.
Yeah.
Close. I mean, you're talking about a VBIED, so you never really know what's inside the damn thing anyway.
Right.
But it was a pretty cool video, man, because you were sitting down like in the middle of the road to fire the fucking thing, which was unreal looking, right? Like you just push pause on combat. I'm going to sit in the middle of the road and blow this fucking car up. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The Humvees were we had like a Humvee blocking our backside, but it was a pretty cool moment because that was the first javelin shot, while we was there. And I don't know if they shot, I'm sure they shot one like during the invasion, but
I have no idea. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but like I was like, I've been training for this thing since 2001. I'm taking this.
Well, yeah, and we always got told, like, I don't know what you were told, but I remember being told ridiculous numbers, like they were $100,000 a missile or some crazy fucking money.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh shit, I'm gonna get to shoot one. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, we had to hike with them, the MSRs, the missile simulator rounds, for years, and then you like, let me shoot this son of a bitch. Like,
yeah.
I'm tired of hiking it. Let's shoot one finally. So it was pretty awesome. That happened, and then of course Oliver North. I actually did a Oliver North interview with him. I think it was me and Harden and a couple of other guys did interviews with him, because that's when they were doing the weekly interviews for Fox News.
The War Stories program.
Yeah, the War Stories program. But it was pretty cool. He actually rode around with us, and the camera guy was awesome. Like, I wish I had the raw footage of like from Fox or him personally, because he was with us a lot in a lot of those firefights. And I remember him like doing like I turn around and the camera lens is right on my face, and I'm like lighting up a cigarette while in between shooting people, and it was nuts. Like, I can't believe he didn't have a weapon. He was like literally downrange with us with a camera right beside us. And I'm like, that dude has some brass balls.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. And he didn't even have like true ballistic armor. He had like the cop style body armor. He didn't even have like plates. His was
yeah,
like it was small arms. It would stop like a 9 mm or something like that. It wasn't made for rifle rounds. So I don't. Yeah, he was a very interesting fella. He had from his story, he had been in every combat zone you can remember, like Kosovo and Somalia and all these different into Israel, all these different places. He was a real cool dude.
yeah, he was pretty awesome. But yeah, I'll never forget he had the camera like on us. I think it was me and Latham, and we're like smoking cigarettes, like, and then of course, like I saw the footage after getting out, like some of it, and it was some of our firefights right in front of the Saddam Mosque, jumping out of the vehicles, and I just wish I had those videos because like there was some really crazy stuff that happened that I'd like to remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'll never forget the first time ever kicking the door open and shooting while the vehicle's moving, like straight up gangster type shit. I'm like, oh, well, that I've actually done a drive by. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then what else? Oh yeah, the Lionesses. We had them on a couple of raids, and I believe on the 10th, we had them with us during the bug hunt to help pat down the females out there, and they were chomping at the bit to shoot something. They didn't care what, at least to fire their weapons, and it was I mean, they helped out a lot, especially with patting down because of course, if you ever, I don't know if you had them with you, but the females, we didn't want to agitate them any more than they already were. You know what I mean? So it was, so it was like they helped out a lot because, you don't want to piss them off even more than they already are. So they helped pat down everybody. And there was a couple of times that Latham took, like, I think there was like 3 of them. It was him and 3 female lionesses that were up on a higher point, and he let them go ahead and start shooting everybody. And yeah, they were, after that we never really saw them again because I guess they were in too much danger or something. I don't know, but like they were from like admin or like cooks or something like that.
Yeah, it was I never asked them their MOSs. It was a weird mix though, and they definitely weren't even related to combat arms, right? They weren't pilots or artillery or anything. They were all like desk jobs as far as I knew. But
Right.
I don't know why they stopped riding with us. You're right. They were there for some of the bigger raids for the bug hunts. But even in the later ops, like Operation Traveler was when we were looking for Zarqawi and all that big, and that was a pretty big op too. They weren't with us.
Yeah.
And we ended up just sectioning off the females into a different house. Like we didn't even have female support to search them. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning was behind it. Hopefully somebody smarter than me will come on and tell me.
Yeah, because I mean, like seriously, like after we let them be part of that firefight, it was like they kind of pulled the reins on them. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if that was, might have been. They only rode with us, I think, one time out of all of it. And I know they rode with the 81s a few times, but yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. Besides, the translators and the Lionesses, it was just us 99% of the time. We had, XO or Weiler every once in a while, but not a lot.
Yeah, we took the CO a bunch. We had the XO only one time, and we took the battalion CO a few times, but I think that was more, you guys had them a whole lot. I know, because you went to the government center a whole lot more than, I mean, we were there a lot, but not as much as you were.
Yeah, and a lot of the times I feel like headquarters had their like one of their own trucks. Maybe do you remember that? Yeah. So headquarters had their own truck, and we just pulled convoy, like kind of like security for them, going to and from.
Yeah.
And him and the sergeant major, and yeah, it was we did there. That's when I found out about triple canopy and all those guys, and of course that was right, after the Blackwater guys got strung up in Fallujah and stuff like that. With and all that stuff. It was that time was nuts because I remember Gunning Meraki. I don't know if you was there. I don't remember how it happened, but like there was like only a few of us at Hurricane Point, but Meraki was there, and we were loading up to actually go out to Fallujah to get the guys because it was what three guys from Blackwater.
It was three.
Yeah, because we saw it on Al Jazeera, and we were wanting to go get them, but we were told to stand down.
Yeah, it was a real weird time frame because there wasn't any real intel of what was going on. But in our AO, that was when the day before that happened was the first time that the translators told us that they were calling for the killing of Americans from the mosque call to prayer in the towers. They hadn't done that. They hadn't done that before. And then right after that was the contractors were killed. We all saw it on the news. And then right directly that night, Morris was killed from our platoon. And then the Battle of Ramadi kicked off the next day. Like it was like all right in a row.
Right. Now, what day was Morris killed?
He was wounded on the 4th, officially killed April 5th.
Okay. So the 4th is, we got in a firefight, I think, going to support you guys on the 4th, because I remember the 4th being pretty significant, like contact.
Okay. I mean, there was a bunch of contact that day. It might have been to support us. There was also an Army convoy that got in heavy contact just north of the city too. It could have been either one of those.
Yeah, there's just so much in April.
Yeah, it is. It all blurs together.
Yeah, but yeah.
Is there anything we didn't cover that you want to go over that I missed?
I don't think so.
Well, I tell everybody the same thing, dude. If you ever want to come back and do this again, you think of something, you hear somebody else say some shit, and you're like, nah, that's not exactly right. Or you're like, no, I can add my part to that because now you've reminded me of something. Right. Reach out, dude. We'll do this again.
All right, man.
I'm really glad to see you, bro, and I'm glad you're doing so well. And tell your wife thanks for fixing your old man problems.
Thanks, brother.
All right, dude. We'll talk at you later.
All right, see you.
All right, see you later, buddy. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe for future episodes on your favorite podcast service.